Welcome to All Change, the programme that puts design at the heart of the learning experience. Today we're at Woodway Park Secondary School in Coventry, and over the course of a single weekend we're going to be transforming a maths classroom. Maths is a core part of any school's curriculum. And here at Woodway Park, the maths room's used for all years, from 7 through to 11. It's a real challenge to provide maths rooms which are flexible enough to meet the needs of teachers and students right through the school.
Woodway Park has a suite of 4 maths rooms, which are linked by an outer reception area or quad. Our design will give the department a stronger identity using colour coding and graphics. We'll also be transforming one of the maths classrooms, creating a space where students will be able to focus better on their work. And also in today's programme, the house that's built of straw. It's home to a radical architect who's produced a design for a school of the future built with environmentally sustainable materials. We visit the inspirational classroom of the future, built for a primary school in Kensington. And some bright ideas for purchasing lighting that might help enhance learning environments at your school. The design for the new maths room at Woodway Park was inspired by mathematical models of curves and hyperbolic functions. Sholanda de Cruz Architects in Birmingham consulted with Woodway Park School to tailor the design to the maths department's needs.
We're looking at 2 rooms in the maths department in the school. The first one that we looked at was the reception room. It was lacking identity, it didn't say the maths department. There's about 7 doors in this room and you don't know what's a classroom, where the toilets are.
Because they all look the same, don't they, off that space?
Yeah. Right. So we created a colour scheme that would relate to each particular classroom.
Right, yeah.
Having 4 of the 4 strong colours.
Yeah, and I see we've got sort of a numeric theme running through and each classroom's got a number and it's quite visible on there, sort of linking through from the stripes on the glass.
Yeah, we've gone for quite a graphic, sort of striking entrance to the whole department. And then this theme is then carried through to the 4 classrooms.
We're working on one of the classrooms, producing a space that will better focus pupils' attention on the teacher at the front of the class. Marco de Cruz introduced a mathematical aesthetic using sculptural steel mesh.
Because of the area constraints, the teaching is quite traditional, and really the only surface available to us was the ceiling. The floor was full of desks, the walls were full of windows and storage. So really we needed a very simple device which could be linked back to the theme of mathematics. So we used the parabolas made from mesh, actually the sort of mesh that they put on the front of Bentley grills. And we got it from this place in the Black Country and it just hangs really nicely. It forms these curves. And really what it's doing is linking back to the sort of the mathematical formula which form the parabolas, and it's sort of influencing the space by using mathematics.
There was a good turnout of Woodway Park staff over the weekend the room was worked on. The key to the design was going to be removing visual clutter from the walls. Lighting and colour would be used to produce an atmosphere where students could concentrate better.
John, we're not just doing one room this weekend, we're actually doing almost a whole maths department.
Well, it is a maths department, totally. And of course, here is the reception. Of course, in each of these rooms, you go off and do a different, I don't know whether it's trigonometry or, think of another one. Geometry, that's another one for me. Or simple maths, applied maths, whatever it is.
Simple maths, we'll keep it simple.
Simple maths, we'll try and keep it simple. So here we have like a reception area. And of course, it's again quite gloomy. So we're going to paint all the walls white. And then we're going to colour code each particular classroom. That's out here.
And then in the classroom itself that we're working on this weekend?
We're actually doing, which is in here. Nice and empty now. All the stuff has been cleared out. It's an unusual makeover, shall we say. We're going to try and actually do a new sort of whiteboard, movable one.
Right.
Replace that, because as you can see, it's had years and years of neglect.
I'm surprised they can actually see anything if they write it on this board.
They probably can't. But also to aid that as well, as you can see, there's a strip light and there's obviously a lot of glare. So we're going to put this sort of mesh canopy over the top. The idea of that is to stop some of this glare onto the whiteboard there, and also, I suppose, to focus the attention onto the board as well, rather than scatter your vision, if you like. And again, we have a lot of woodwork in here. New desks and tables. The doors in front of us here, as you can see, they're going to grey to match in with the rest of the scheme. And of course, all the pin boards, they're just all bits and pieces. So we're going to neaten all those up, replace them into different areas, not new ones. We are reusing what's here and paint those in a blue colour. So we have some sort of focus to the room and a scheme. And of course, not forgetting the windows here, we have some blinds to actually go on there. And that generally, Sharon, is it.
Is that all?
Is that all? Exactly, yes.
2 rooms in 1 weekend. You're going to be busy.
Aren't we just?
The room sets the teachers using it a few challenges, since it's rather a small space, and it has to be configured in a traditional talk and chalk setup.
Now, your classroom's not actually very big, is it? Does that constrain you in any way?
It does. I'm limited to how I can rearrange the tables. I've got it in a basic formation at the moment where they're all facing me. I can move them around a bit, but only as far as putting them together to form groups of 4.
Do you think if you had a bigger space, it might impact on the way that you teach?
I'd experiment with different arrangements of tables, certainly. Maybe a bit more group work, because that is a limiting factor with a small classroom. They are facing me, and I'm teaching directly at them, which is okay for the majority of the time. But if I could rearrange them, maybe in an arc, experiment like that sort of thing, I'd probably try that with a larger room.
In August 2000, the government invited local education authorities to bid to build classrooms for the future, learning environments tailored specifically to the needs of their users. St Francis of Assisi Primary School in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea were successful in achieving £750,000, and they've created one of the most original and inspiring classrooms in the country. It's a futuristic pod. It was designed by Studio E architects, who worked with the school community to produce a radical yet functional building. The head teacher of St Francis was able to articulate precisely what he wanted.
Something very futuristic, something with in an organic shape, either in circular form or an oval shape, with different areas which could be used for different purposes. And this is what the architects came up with.
It sits on gabions, mesh boxes filled with stones, a building technique devised by the medieval Italians. The roof is made of ETFE, the same material used for the domes at the Eden project in Cornwall. Inside there's a tropical biosphere with breakout learning spaces from the main classroom. The classroom itself has a wireless network, providing its Year 5 pupils with internet connectivity via tablet PCs.
Going on to the news desk website.
We're trying as much as possible to make this a paperless classroom, so for as many of the subjects as possible, we use the tablets. They get to do a lot of research work on the internet. We don't have to worry about getting to the library, we don't have to be worried about finding a slot in the ICT suite, so anytime you need to use the computer, it's there at your fingertips.
My teacher is nice. My TA is nice. Tablets are good to work on and stuff. Do good work. It's a really good classroom and I like it.
In the other classes, when we go to learn different subjects, sometimes we have to use books instead of tablets. So we're the only class in the school that has the opportunity to use them every day.
The school has developed an outdoor learning landscape with a forest trail of the trees that were present in Britain at the time of the Ice Age. There's a stream that's used as a resource for science and geography lessons. All rather surreal in inner city London. On the roof there's an observatory telescope. But there are a few teething problems.
The problems that we're having is that in the summer it's far too hot, so we're now working on covering the roof with photovoltaic cells. They're actually experimenting with how the cells, which are approximately 2 metres in length, half a metre in width, how they can be suspended above the roof so that in inclement weather, windy weather, they don't actually rub against the actual roof and damage it.
The paradox for St Francis of Assisi is that although it's blessed with a revolutionary classroom, there's an obligation and a price to be paid if it's to stay at the forefront of technology.
What we need to do is to be a classroom of the future, but be at the cutting edge of technology, but still have the money or find the money to be able to upgrade to the next generation of tablets. That's the main problem, keeping up with technology.
Back at Woodway Park, project manager John Craig is replacing the tired old board roller.
Now class, new board, new teacher, me.
Head teacher Steve Allen brandishes a paint roller. Things are progressing well.
Steve, I see we've got you looking very glamorous and working hard.
You have.
What do you think of the designs that we're producing this weekend?
I think it's very interesting. I mean, what we would simply do is brighten the rooms up with a quick lick of paint, but I think your designs are quite interesting. I think the kids are going to be really impressed when they come on Monday.
And what difference do you think it's going to make to the way the space is used?
It makes a huge difference. I mean, it shows that it's a quality learning environment, and the nicer the environment, the better the teaching, the better the learning. Simple as that.
Now, one of the problems in this room, well, there's a few actually, is the fact that it's actually south-facing. The children are complaining the fact that, sir, the sun is blinding me, I can't see the whiteboard. I personally don't believe that. I think it's an excuse that they don't like maths. But just to try and put that right, down come these old blinds that didn't really work, and up will go these little trendy Venetian blinds.
The blinds under colour scheme are designed to give a calming ambience in the maths room.
Natasha, what do you think of the designs for the new maths room?
They're pretty cool, they're different, yeah.
Do you think it's going to be very different to what it was before?
Yeah, a lot different, a bit more colour.
And Stacey?
I think it's bright and colourful, which will probably cheer up the students more. So it will probably help us out with studies and that.
Yeah? Is the room pretty boring before then?
Yeah, very dull, very uninspirational.
With the arrangement of the horizontal stripes going across the quad here, I think that we have an open door environment anyway, but it means that sort of the children will be able to come out into here and work in the quad, which will be quite new for us.
Oh, fantastic. So a more flexible space then to use.
I think so, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm looking for.
Woodway Park's head teacher, Steve Allen, is a man with a mission. He's only been a head for a year, and in that short space of time, his leadership has helped to bring about huge improvements to the learning environments all over the school.
So, Steve, you've been updating areas of the school over the past year. This is one of the areas that you've actually started on. Tell me why you picked this one.
Well, this is quite an important area because it's the first area that children see when they walk through the main gate. And it was quite drab, to be honest with you. So what we've done is repaired a lot of the slabbing here. We've installed some new railings, some basic things as well, that the guttering used to leak and water would pour down everywhere. So we fixed all that. This fascia area is all new as well. So we've made it a quite nice area where the children can come and sit.
And you've also been doing some work on behaviour management, haven't you? And we're going to go and look at one of the areas that you've been dealing with.
We can, that's up at Launchpad.
Okay.